Hey everyone, today's another special episode of Take Line that we taped last week for the holiday break. We have an incredible episode of Take Survivor, plus Renee and I play a game that tests our knowledge of each other. And we are joined by legendary head coach of the UConn women's basketball team, Gino Auriemma. It's a lot of fun. Hope you enjoy it.
Let's go! Joining us now, he's the head coach of the 11-time national champion UConn Huskies women's basketball team. He's led the U.S. women's national basketball team to 2 gold medals at the Olympics, and that's literally just 2 of the things on his long list of accomplishments. But the most important thing is that he is my coach forever, Coach Auriemma. You know I love you, the Godfather. Welcome to Take Line. And Coach, now this year we know we had another great season, got bumped out of the Final Four by Arizona and current dream rookie that we drafted, Aari McDonald. But how does the blue look for next season? What are you expecting from your star Paige? We know she had surgery, so, how's she coming along and what are you expecting next year?
Well, I'm expecting them to grow up a little bit and not be so immature. We played Baylor last year, right, in the Final 8 game. So that game took a lot out of us. It was a physical game, it was a tough game. And after we won that game, some of the younger guys, and maybe it's some of the older guys too, we just have it. You have to have a mature team to win a national championship. I think they went into the Arizona game and people probably won't believe this, we spent more time preparing for the Arizona game than we did for the Baylor game.
Really? How so?
Well, just more things to go over, more things. We knew Baylor's personnel. We had played them. We didn't know Arizona that well, right?
Right.
So we wanted, and smart me, right?
Yeah.
I tried to okay, here's the advantages that we have over Arizona. Let's try to take advantage of those. Here's the matchup, situations that favor us. Let's try to take advantage of it. The only problem is the matchups that favor us wasn't exactly our strengths.
Oh, yeah.
So
yeah.
I kind of, so they went in. So after we lose the game, their media, well, we didn't know that it was going to be this hard. We didn't think it was going to be. And I'm like, how the hell do you think that the semifinal game for the national championship ain't going to be hard?
Right. What?
Who the hell are you guys talking to? So
they see that 1,000-win jersey behind you, and they think that that's going to be him.
No, you know what some of these guys are today in college? They're like this. They go, Coach, you came to Connecticut. You won 11 national championships.
Yep.
And, we have this many All-Americans. Coach, I want to make me an All-American. And I'll be like, yeah, what am I, like Subway? Where you go, hey, make me a sandwich.
Have it your way, Burger King, baby.
Yeah. You go make me a sandwich. Sure, I can make you a sandwich, make you an All-American. What are you shitting me? How am I going to do that? How am I going to do that? All I can do is give you the platform to become one.
Yeah.
And push you and push you and push you. The rest is up to you, dude. So I said, I've never been asked that question before.
That's crazy.
I said, ever in my life, by anybody who's made All-American on our team. I've never been asked that.
I definitely didn't ask you that.
No, hell no. So the thing is, a maturity level that you have to reach, that I think kids coming out today think maybe it's a little bit easier than it's going to be. They don't realize how hard it's going to be. So what has to change this year? Well, obviously we need more help for Paige. She makes shots, she scores, and Kristen had a great NCAA tournament, Kristen Williams. So I think she's building on that right now based on what I see during these summer school workouts. Liv really struggled, and she's, working harder than she's ever worked. We've brought in a couple new kids, both new freshmen, and we have a kid transferred in from Ohio State.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
So we definitely have way more pieces of the puzzle this year. We have a little more experience. We have everybody back that, very few teams can say that. So I like our chances
Okay.
this year, and we'll see what happens.
You mentioned Paige. You've coached so many great players over the course of your career. How do you fit Paige into that? I was just thinking, looking at whether it's Rebecca Lobo, Diana Taurasi, Maya Moore, and now Paige. There's a you can kind of trace the evolution of the game. How do you fit Paige into that kind of like lineage of player?
I think talent-wise, skill-wise, God-given talent. I think I've had certainly a bunch of players that have come with that. Somebody like Stewie comes to mind, where you just need to like harden her, and she's got things that you can't draw up, you can't teach, you can't coach. I mean, you're 6'4" and you got a 7'1" wingspan, and when you go shoot a jump shot, you jump, this high off the floor. So there ain't a guy in men's basketball that would have an easy time blocking that shot. And she needed hardening. Okay. Somebody like Diana come here. She don't need hardening. She came in here hard.
Yeah.
She needs to be like reined in a little bit. Like, come on. All right. Do it. Pick your spots. Somebody like Maya comes, Maya goes boom, 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 every day. And Maya needed to learn perspective. Like, how do I play with 4 other great players on the floor at the same time? And Renee, because she's sitting right here, was vocal, demonstrative, confident, cocky, walking around like, I got this, and projected an air of confidence that the rest of the team went, hell yeah, that's who we are. We're her. And Paige is quiet.
Oh, wow.
She doesn't say much. She's quiet in her game. Like, all of a sudden you look up at the end of the game, she had 27 and 12 assists, and you go, man, how the hell does she do that? It just, she'll go a spurt where she'll be like unbelievable, and then the rest of the time she's quiet. So her evolution has to be, she's got to get harder every day in practice and realize that the game is going to be real physical against her. And I asked her a really good question this past summer, 3 weeks ago. I said, if you were guarding you, I said, how would you guard yourself?
What'd she say?
She said, well, I wouldn't let me shoot a 3. I said, okay. So next time we're working on getting open to shoot a 3, don't half-ass it, because that's going to be the key. What else? She said, I would be really physical with me. I said, right. So now when we're in the weight room and we're doing stuff, you need to know, I got to do this. What else? I said, well, they'd force you left. I can go left. I said, well, I can go left too, but that don't mean I want to score going left, So, and I said, and these things you come with maturity and come with growth, but there's things that she sees and things that plays that she makes that are just,
incredible.
They're God-given. They're God-given.
Yeah, I called the games, as you know. I called a few of the UConn NCAA games this year, and the maturity level. And I look at it and you see all these new faces, and I always wonder, like, what's the difference in the recruiting process versus when I was there? Because players are so different now. Just even as I'm watching players, you know, like when we were there, we didn't have nails and eyelashes. You know, we didn't really, but this is a different type of player now that I see in the tournament, and it's an evolution. So what's like been the biggest difference for you just recruiting this new age of players as opposed to before? And excluding the pandemic, of course, because that was unique.
Yeah, it is crazy, you know. Like I'll say something like, "What's with those nails?" and they'll be like, "What?" I go, "Who colors their nails?" I said, "Where are you going, to the prom?" I said, "Where are you going here? You going out on a date? Where are you going?" I said, "You're coming here to play basketball." Like, so what are you going to do with the game on the line? You know, as a jump ball, you go, "Ooh, don't break my nail." You know, like, "Ooh, see how nice that is." Like, what are we doing here? I said, "There's a time and place for everything." But today's kids, it's like, yeah, like that's my jam, man. Like that's what I do. You know, see, that's what, you know, and the eyelash thing, you know, like, so I'm like, yo, you're either real basketball players or you're like, I said, you know, it's a statement by you that says, hey, this is serious. I'm two different people. When I come play basketball, I come ready for work. And when I go out, I go out. Those are two different people.
Oh my.
Right?
Yeah.
So trying to explain that is a little bit of a challenge. And then the idea that, you know, I came here because I want what you have, coach, but can I do it the way I want to do it? I said, well, those two things don't go together.
Right.
Like if you already know how to do it, I would ask you how to do it, but you don't. So you're depending on me to show you how to do it. So when I go, it's like if I come to Atlanta and I say, hey, Renee, how do I get to the Georgia Dome?
Yeah.
And you go, well, you go down here, you make a right, third left, you make a, and I go, you know what? I'd rather go a different way. Then why the hell did you ask me?
Right.
Then go ahead, get lost and stumble around and find your own way.
And then come back and ask me again.
But because they got GPS, see, they think everything's,
you
know, that you don't have to put a lot of yourself. You don't have to invest a lot of yourself.
Yeah.
You know, you just kind of like go, I got it. Well, if it was that easy, everybody else would have 11 national championships.
Bloop. Okay.
Responding to recent court decisions, the NCAA Board of Directors has changed the rules, declared that athletes can make money off their image and likeness. Have you begun to think about like how your program is going to grapple with these changes or what the effects might be?
Yeah, I'm anxious to see what the effects are. I'm anxious to see what the effects are. So let's say you're Paige, who, you know, she was famous coming out of high school. You know, I called her Paige Kardashian.
Oh my gosh.
I said, you know, damn, man. I said, you're famous. You're famous for being famous. I said, you haven't done a damn thing. And everybody's talking about you like you're the greatest thing ever. She goes, you know, to her credit, she goes, Coach, I don't get it either. I said, I'm just telling, you know, that's just the world that we live in. That's your world. So now she's going to be able to capitalize on that. And AZ's a big name in recruiting. So she comes here. So now she's going to be able to capitalize on that. How much? Who knows? So in the future now, you know, you've got 3 or 4 or 5, you know, high school, potential college All-Americans. And how's that affect the team when some are getting great opportunities and some are not? Some getting opportunities.
Yeah,
some are like a little bit of interest, some a lot of interest. Like I use this analogy. I said, listen, if LeBron and Anthony Davis are getting X, everybody else on the Lakers knows I'm getting something other than X. Like way, way other than X.
Yeah.
Okay. And they're cool with that. They're men and they understand this is a job and it's a business. Guys that work for Apple or Google or whatever, they know there's certain guys at certain levels of that company that get X. You, wherever you are, you get Y. Now, does an 18-year-old understand that? Does a 19-year-old understand that? I don't know. So I think these kids may be under the impression that the minute this law was passed, here come the checks.
Like everybody.
Like everybody's getting paid. And the truth of the matter is going to be very few of them are going to get paid. And they're going to have to actually do something to get paid. Whatever that is.
Yeah.
So it's not going to be just because you're a nice kid and, UConn's number one in the country.
Yeah. So it's interesting because at UConn, we fly charter, my first time eating at Del Fresco's was with you guys and CD's teaching us which forks and everything to use. And so I think that there's this interesting dynamic coming, maybe not with men's basketball or football, but in a lot of the women's sports. Do you think that they'll get to a point where college athletes could possibly make more than the pros?
In women's basketball, I can see that happening. Like,
what do you think that would how will that you know what I'm saying? Like, would that not be what will that look like if now college athletes could possibly be making more and then when they graduate and go pro, they're making less?
It depends. It may depend on where you go to school, let's say. So let's say you're at UConn, because that's what we're talking about. Yeah. And now we have this huge UConn nation that follows UConn women's basketball. And it's actually national, around the country. We've become like Duke men's basketball. Mm-hmm. Which side are you on? You either hate us or you love us.
Facts.
Okay? You hate us or you love us. There's nobody that has no opinion.
All right.
You can say to somebody, hey, what do you think of, Kentucky women's basketball? And they might go, I don't know. But you say, well, what do you think of UConn women's basketball? Oh, man, I love them. I love their coach. Next person. I hate them. Whenever they're on TV, I root for anybody but them. Okay. But everybody's got an opinion. Yeah. So if you play here, you are inundated with media attention.
Yeah.
Social media attention. Now, you grow that over 4 years. See, that's the key. It grows over 4 years, provided you're really good. Now you leave and you go to the WNBA. Will that stay with you? Hopefully. Or will some of that, where will you go? Let's say you go play for the Atlanta Dream. Mm-hmm. Do they have a big enough platform that you can use to enhance everything you already have? Mm-hmm. I don't know. All that remains to be seen. No question about it.
That's crazy. That's just blowing my mind.
It's crazy, right?
It's blowing my mind because a player, a football player just signed a $20,000 deal, so the first day out the gates. So it's like, wow, if that continues, wow.
Yeah. I mean, and when they get when they get to the NBA or the NFL or wherever they're going, what's going to be the determining factor? Well, I would like to think in sports, how good you are.
Yeah.
It's
doing TikTok videos when you're in the NBA. That ain't going to get it, right?
Oh, I might though. That's big money now, Coach. I'm just saying.
It's big money if you're a 13-year-old. If you're a 14-year-old and you're TikToking your butt off, you can make some money. I don't know if they want a bunch of 20-year-olds TikToking. You might be that may be that's too old. That's way too old for that crowd.
Takeline is brought to you by Sesh. That's SESH. Traditional therapy can be expensive, and to many of us, it's inaccessible. Hundreds of dollars a month to text with a counselor? No thanks. Sesh offers a safe space for group support where you can connect with other people in similar situations. all led by expert therapists. SESH is the leading mental health app for accessible group support, facilitated by diverse, licensed therapists who are experts in their field. SESH makes it easy to find your community. There are sessions for people of all different backgrounds on topics like living with anxiety or depression, building healthy habits, coping with COVID, managing stress, parenting, relationships, body image, low self-esteem, postpartum, and much more. Each session is a 60-minute online group support session, led by an experienced therapist with a specific specialty, and each session has a maximum of 14 participants. SESH also offers community-specific support for Black, Latinx, LGBTQIA+, the AAPI community, and more. SESH is only $60 per month for unlimited group sessions with licensed therapists. SESH is recommended by top psychologists, therapists, and mental health experts, and it offers a cost-effective way to meet your mental health goals. Oprah Magazine named SESH a top virtual mental health resource. It was the most affordable option on the list. Each new user receives a free 2-week trial. Take the first step and go to seshtherapy.com today, or download the SESH app in the App Store today. Again, that's seshtherapy.com. SESH is mental health care made easy, and we thank them for sponsoring the podcast.
What does That's Game mean? What is this campaign about? That's Game encapsulates the excitement, the swagger, and energy of the NBA. It's a bold declaration understood by insiders and casual fans that the bar has been raised. When it comes to the game of basketball and culture itself, the NBA is always moving forward. That's Game is all about capturing the league's most dynamic moments on and off the court, whether it's through moments of iconic gameplay or giving voice to its community of players and fans. The NBA is always pushing new boundaries in athleticism, style, ideas, and more. Here are some examples that bring That's Game to life through on-court and off-court stories to show how That's Game is more than just a game. For instance, on the court, the story of Luka playing in Slovenia, then playing in Spain and coming to the NBA. Off the court, donating 3,000 meals to Houston during their COVID crisis. That's Game. The road to the finals is on. Don't miss a moment.
Takeline is brought to you by LinkedIn Talent Solutions. Today, many small business owners are busier than ever. Because they are focused on managing and growing their businesses, they can't always spend the time they wish they could on recruiting. That's why LinkedIn Jobs has made it easier to find and hire the best candidates for free. I oversee my own business and nonprofit organization, and finding the right candidates for any job is always my top priority. I want to make sure that anyone that's going to work for me has all the experience, but here's the thing. You can't just put an ad in the paper anymore. I find the best candidates when I have the right tools at hand. That's exactly why LinkedIn Talent Solutions is a must-have for anyone looking to hire. Get started by posting your job for free to reach LinkedIn's network of 740 million professionals. Fill out targeted screening questions to get your role in front of the most qualified candidates with experience, skills, and motivation you need. Then it's easy to filter and prioritize the top candidates you'd like to interview. LinkedIn Jobs will help you hire the right person for your role. Did you know every week, nearly 40 million job seekers visit LinkedIn? Post your first job for free at linkedin.com/takeline. That's linkedin.com/takeline to post your first job for free. Terms and conditions apply.
So, Coach, you were on the Olympic selection committee, and of course, you coached the women's national team to 2 gold medals in 2012 and 2016. How is the process going? How is the prep going? Where are you in constructing your rosters right now for the games?
Well, again, I'm going to show you the crazy thing about UConn basketball. In 2012, when I coached the Olympic team, we had 6 UConn players on the team.
Yep.
I didn't have anything to do with 5 of them. They were picked, like, before I even sat down. They go, all right, here's who the committee thinks. What do you think? I go, I'm on board. I got it.
So that's a criticism that often happens, is that this is UConn politics.
UConn politics. So UConn politics means what? You're going to keep Sue Bird off the Olympic team in 2012, or Dee, or Tina Charles, or Maya.
Oh, no.
Okay? I don't care if you hate UConn. If you're the Olympic coach, you want those guys on your team, right? Because you want to win. You want to win. So now the fifth UConn player, it comes down to somebody and Swin Cash.
Yeah.
So I stepped out. I said, look, I'm not in this discussion. You guys decide. And they picked Swin. All right. I said, I'm in. She has previous Olympic experience. She's this. She's won WNBA championships. I said, I like the pick. Now we got one pick left. And it was set aside for Brittany Griner. Now Brittany says, I ain't playing.
Okay.
So now we got a spot open. So I said to the committee, I said, what is the biggest problem that this Olympic team is going to have? Tell me. They said,
Minutes.
well, you know, this big kid from Australia, this 6'7", 6'8" kid from Australia, she is going to be a major pain in the ass. So we got to figure that one out. And now over in Europe, Asia Jones is Final Four MVP. Anybody that knows Asia ain't afraid of anybody, anywhere, anytime, you know. So I asked around a bunch of people that played, and I said, all right, what do you guys think? And they said, Coach, man, you need to get Asia Jones on this team because she said, you these guys, like, I don't know if they can guard this other kid. So I said this to the committee, and they gave me like a lot of pushback. And I said, okay, fine. I'm just telling you, I have to look down the bench. I have looked down the bench, and I got to make a sub. You guys never have in the Olympics. So I'm telling you, that's the kid I want. Now, I'm going to get off the phone. If that's not who you want, then that's fine. I got nothing to do about that. Took them 45 minutes, whatever. They put Asia on the team. Now we're playing Australia, semifinals of the Olympics. Tina Charles, Sylvia Fowles, Candace Parker are getting their asses kicked by Elizabeth Cambage. She is destroying them. She's got 19 at the half.
Oh my gosh. So
now we come in at halftime, blah, 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 blah. We go out in the second half. I said, I'm giving this shit 5 minutes. So they come out, they do their thing. 5 minute mark, I go, Age, come on, man. We go out. Here they come. They're coming down on offense. Asia's standing at the free throw line.
Meets her there.
Elizabeth comes over, and she's running to the block to her favorite spot. And Asia goes, bam! And like hits her like right here and stands her straight up. A sucker didn't score the rest of the game.
Wow. Wow.
Now, she was wrong. I mean, she was young, but Asia only helped us win one game. The one game we had to win.
Right.
All right. So those were the 6. Now we go to Rio, and you're going to keep Sue off, or Dee, or Maya, or Tina, or Stewie. Well, some people say, well, Stewie shouldn't have been on because she's a rookie. I don't care if she rookie or 35-year-old. Who's better? Who's a better player than her at that time? So it was the biggest collection of talent ever, and they all dumped on me. This is UConn politics.
Yeah.
Gino Auriemma this, Gino Auriemma that, blah, 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 blah. And Carol Cowan kept saying, it's the committee, man. Committee picks the team. They don't want to hear it. Okay, fast forward. 2020, 21, 22. Now we're in this cycle.
Yeah.
I ain't even the coach. And now they bitch that the committee did a shitty job, especially Gino Auriemma. This UConn bullshit's got to stop. Wait a minute. When I was the coach, it was my fault. Now I'm on the committee, it's my fault.
So what is it though? Like, okay, so now 2012, of course, you don't leave those names off. I think the sentiment is in 2021, are those names still the same power of 2012 in a sense of the best players? That's kind of what I think. You know, like there's a lot of discussion, you know, Nneka Ogwumike's name got thrown out there a lot for getting on there. So it's the question of like, yeah, you're not even the coach anymore. People still have a problem with the UConn politics. So what is it?
You know what I said? You know what I said? One of the things that I said to somebody, I said, explain to me, if you were the Olympic coach, would you take any other guard other than Diana? Even at her age right now. If the answer is yes, tell me who that would be. That you would feel comfortable going to the Olympics. And most people would say, no, I'll take D.
Yeah.
Last year in the finals and during the whole playoffs, was there a better guard than Sue? So tell me who's better that you would take. Brittany Griner, is there a better big guy, better center, better than Brittany Griner? If you find somebody, say. Sylvia Fowles.
No, she's top.
You want Sylvia or you don't want Sylvia? Well, I think we'll take Sylvia. How about Asia Wilson? You want Asia Wilson or you don't want Asia Wilson? Oh yeah, we'll take Asia Wilson. What about Tina Charles?
TT.
Yeah.
Well, she's only probably favorite for MVP this year.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So you want Tina or you don't want Tina? So now those guys, like nobody on the committee would say, no, they don't belong there. We got to go with some new blood. Who? And then you go, okay, now who's next? Well, what about Stewie? We're going to keep, you think you want Stewie on your team if you're coaching that team? Or you say, no, she ain't good enough to play for us. So that's another easy one. All right. So now you start getting into, well, what does this team need now? Given that you took all those big guys.
Yeah.
What does this team need now? Well, we're kind of short on guards. So Jewel Lloyd gets the nod. Why?
Yeah.
She played great at the World Championships. You could say there's people better than Jewel. Okay, tell me who they are that fit in with that group. Right? Now we need another guard. Somebody long, somebody good. Who? It would be Angel McCautry, but she's hurt.
Yeah.
All right. So now you don't have Angel. You don't have Simone anymore. Yeah. Deldon ain't available.
Oh, true. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, Maya Moore would have been in that spot, right? She ain't available.
Sure. Yeah.
So all of a sudden, you got all these guys that ain't available. And the younger guys have not gotten to that level just yet. Just because you're one of the best players doesn't mean you fit perfectly with that team.
Yeah.
As you all know. So then the decision came, for the committee, Nneka, who's hurt, who plays the same position as Asia Wilson, Tina Charles, Stewie. The other choice that was brought up, Nafisa Kyer, who's maybe more versatile, maybe can play more different positions. Who knows? And she's younger, and it's a nod to the future. So whatever decision you make is not a bad decision, but whatever decision you make, people are going to have an issue with it.
For sure. I mean, their talent is so deep. Every year there's going to be somebody left off. That's just a given. We always say this, we could take 3 teams to the Olympics if it was allowed because of how much talent we have. But Coach, before we let you go, our producer is going to show us a video. I have not seen it, so they told me to say that they have a video to show us. This was after one of our games at the tournament during our national championship run. So let's check out this video because I'm nervous. What is it, Carlton?
What did you say to Renee when she came over to the bench and you gave her a hug?
I said, this is what you wanted, right? She said, yeah. I said, but we're not done yet. She said, no, this is different than last year. So look at her.
Thanks, Coach. Renee, Coach said that when you came over, you told him that this is different from last year. How is it going to be different from last year?
Last year we were just so happy to make it to the Final Four, and I think, our whole goal starting the preseason was we're going to get it to the Final Four. We're going to get our seniors there. And I think this year, our mindset is we're definitely happy, as you hear, that we're in the Final Four. But I mean, we have to look further than that because last year we lost there.
What do you have to do in St. Louis for this team to be considered one of the best ever?
I don't know. I guess just keep playing. I don't try to think about that. I just want to win a national championship.
All right, congratulations, Renee. Thank you. Bam.
Look at that young guy at CD. Look at the squad. Wow, y'all went in the archives. You remember that, Coach? It's so weird how he remembers everything. Like, you just heard him say in the semifinals against Australia, she had 22 points at 19 and a half.
Yeah.
It's like,
but you know, the year before, if I'm not mistaken, we got to the Final Four.
Yep.
And we lost. We lost to Stanford, I think.
Yes, we did.
In Tampa.
Tampa.
And they said to me, what does this loss mean? I said, this loss don't mean anything to me. I said, because we're going to be back here next year and it's going to be different. I promise you that. As I said to the media. So now we have the kind of team that we have. We run through. Everybody's dancing because why? It's a big deal to go to Final Four, man.
Yeah.
It's a huge deal to go to Final Four.
Yeah.
And after that, though, when we get to the Final Four, there's no contest.
We were turned up. We were turned up.
I actually, for one of the few times, I felt bad for the other three teams that were there.
No, I remember that distinctly, obviously, but it's crazy because, again, you have 11 national championships. You've done a little bit of everything. So, Coach, we just wanted to thank you for joining us here on Take Line.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it. And, you know, the interesting thing about coaching is you don't shoot any baskets. You don't get any rebounds. You don't get any steals. As a coach, you just hope that you have the right people and that you put them in the right position. I think our success is based so much on our players' ability to do what they do best. And if I was coaching men's basketball, I wouldn't have 11 national championships because a lot of the guys that stayed here and went to a bunch of Final Fours and kept winning championships would have been long gone after their first or second one.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, so women's basketball is great in that respect, in that teams kind of come together, they can fail, they can learn, they can grow, and then they can experience something amazing. Whereas in men's basketball, maybe they get it one shot, they go to the Final Four, they don't win it all, and then team breaks up because everybody's leaving for the NBA or whatever they're doing. So people like, you know, Renee, and I mean, how many Final Fours you go to, Renee?
3 or 2?
I want to say 2.
How do you know this? That's why it's so weird.
2, because you lost in
the Elite Eight
Tampa.
on to do, and we lost to
Tampa and then won in St. Louis.
Yep.
And we should have won another game that would have got us to the Final Four, but we came up short for a lot of different reasons.
Yes.
So, you know, the success that we have as coaches is directly related to, you know, getting the kind of players that can perform under those circumstances. And personality has a lot to do with it. Your temperament, who you are. And I can honestly say, you know, for 4 years that Renee was at UConn, her temperament, her personality, her je ne sais quoi, you know, that was who we were, man. And we've had very few players like that. You know, Dee was another one. They just kind of like, they are, and everybody just gravitates to them. And I had so much fun that people say, man, that must have been a lot of pressure, be undefeated and go in it. I said, actually, no, man, it was kind of easy.
We had a blast. I thank you, Coach. I thank you, Coach. And go ahead and win another 12th win. They can stay mad. You know, I'll be talking.
That's the plan.
Oh, thank you for joining us,
I
Coach.
can get back on the show.
Thank you so much.
All right, guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Good luck.
And now for a new game called Know Your Co-Host on this special July 4th week episode. We're just going to play a little game here to see how well Renee and I know things about each other. You know it as Two Truths and a Lie, but we've adapted it here. Let us start off with our first category, favorite movie.
All right, so we're going to start out with my favorite movie, Jason. 2 of these are my favorite movies. 1 of these are not. So your options are Avatar, Love Actually, and Moulin Rouge.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we're all over the board here.
Okay, so let's see. Avatar, I think, is still or has rather regained the title of highest grossing movie of all time. I think it regained it from Endgame somehow. Whatever the case, it is quite possible that is your favorite movie. It's a favorite movie of billions of people around the globe, a historically popular movie.
Mm-hmm.
Love Actually, one of the great rom-coms of all time. What can be said about it? Beloved by millions, one of the great movies of that form. I could see that being the case. I think that Avatar is the lie.
Wow. Okay, that's right. That's correct. That is correct. Love Actually, I watch it like maybe 3 times a year. Moulin Rouge, I used